Dear students, we are discussing today some of the important key questions which is very much required and important for information technology and computer science paper so far as the Council of Higher Secondary Education is concerned and the students those who are appearing the CHSE or CBSE or ICSE exam they can follow these questions discussion. This is our first part discussion. We are providing more questions and answers for preparation of Council of Higher Secondary Education and other CBSE and ICSE syllabus courses which is required for 2026 examinations. Let's first discuss one of the important questions most often arises, that is antivirus. Remember, there are two types of threat. The computer or the computer network always faces. One is virus and another is the network threats, just like hacker. This is the main issue in the today's information era. And so far as the antivirus is there, it can protect the virus to enter to your system. Means in definition we can say antivirus is a software that is created to detect, prevent, and remove any type of malicious programs. Malicious means whose intent is simply dangerous to our system. Those can enter to our system and destruct our important programs, and hence antivirus is a kind of software used to prevent, scan, and detect the delete the viruses from the computer. If any virus cannot be prevented or not detected or not removed, it provides the proposal to the user that you can install the new antivirus or you can update the antivirus definitions. The different types of antivirus available in the market, just like Norton, McAfee, Kaspersky, and other antivirus is also available just like Panda antivirus, Node 32 and others. And in the recent Windows 11 or 10 versions, the different types of firewall mechanism is there which can protect the system from external threats. Virus protection program also protect your files and hardware from any type of malware such as worms, Trojan horses, spywares, and any other hidden viruses that enter to your system. And we must be knowing that there are the different types of viruses are there. They can very smartly enter to your system and damage your program slow and steadily. But remember, it replicates once it is in your system. Either you may or may not open the software as in which file it is attached, it will be automatically spreading as the program you start using. Hence, it is always represented that antivirus software runs automatically in the background to provide real-time protection against the virus attack. And again, we can also set our antivirus either periodic update or we can start the antivirus manually for checking all the drive to your system. Next, we are moving to another important question is newsgroup. Newsgroup is an international bulletin board where all the latest kind of hottest information is available. The example of newsgroup is Usenet, and always remember never post any confidential information to the newsgroup because whatever the information you shared in the newsgroup it automatically spreads to the thousand of news server, and hence it is advised to the user never give the children to access the news group because they have to guided by their elders because some informations are there according to the situation. If they are not adult, they should not be assess this, which might be hamper the mindset of the small children, and hence news groups are very important for the persons, but try to remember it should be properly guided by the specific elder persons while their children are trying to assess the news groups. Next important question is mailing list. You must be knowing that mailing list is a program. The example of mailing list include list server, major demo and others. The importance of mailing list is you have to save the number of mail ID in a group, and while you want to send thousands of customers, you have to send in the mailing group so that whatever the users are added to the mailing group will get your message. Hence, it saves a lot of time for the customer. Remember, any customer care persons while sending the messages, they are not sending manually at a particular date or time. They set the trigger so that when a particular time is reached or the date is reached, automatically the mails are sent to the respective customer. Just a reminder of payments of insurance companies, a reminder of any type of information from the bankings, they are using the mailing list programs. The next important question is phishing. You remember, phishing is a method of social engineering activity whose entire goal to obtain the sensitive data such as passwords, username, or any type of credit card number, even if the email IDs. This attack most often comes in the form of instant messaging, and also the recipient of the email is then tricked into opening the malicious link, which leads to the installation of a malware on the recipient's computer because they provide many attractive information, so user forced to click on that, so that in the meantime they install the specific malwares that can collect the information from the person who is clicking that link unknowingly. It can also obtain some personal information by sending an email that appears to be sent from a bank asking to verify the identity by giving away some private information. That is, it seems to be the information sent by the legal customer or legal banking organization, but really it is a fake one, so that they are very smart and carry the personal information so that they can in latter part they can misuse your information for the different purposes, and hence phishing is one of the important cyber threat. The next important question is denial of service attack, that is DOS or DDoS attack. Remember that while you are keeping refreshing a page waiting for that moment when the product will go live or that information will come, but after waiting so many time the information is not coming or the web page is not coming, that is an error message is appear, the service is unavailable. You might be thinking the server might not be loading your page, but really what happens, it is blocked by some other sources, which is known as denial of service attack, which is a malicious traffic overload. We can say the attacker overload or block that website, and that causes the information not to appear in the form of website to your system. When a website has too much traffic, it is unable to serve its content to the visitor. Normally, it is blocked by the intruders, the persons which might be termed as a hacker, who can make you and face you many problems. And hence, that type of service is known as your denial of service attack. It is also one of the important network threat. Next is difference between the uploading and downloading. Remember, the process of sending information is always known as your upload. It may be the computer or the mobile which can send the data like emails, photos, videos, the information from the Facebook, Instagram and others. All the information the sender sends is always upload. and you are assessing the information, means you are checking your mail, you are assessing any websites, you are assessing or downloading any pictures or videos, all are belongs to the download. Means overall the sending information is known as your uploading, and receiving information is always known as your downloading. Then what is the difference between the client and server? Remember, client is a system or a device, whereas the server is a system, but it is a powerful computer in comparison to client, because it has high power processing speed and having high speed random access memory, as well as the high capacity of hard disk. Again, the client who can make the request, and the server which can make the response to the client. Means the client always request. For example, when you are requesting for a web page, we are making a request as the client request, and the browser works as a client program, while the response is coming from the server, and server is known as your responding program. Hence, that is the basic difference between the client and server. If we are making a request for the any website, that is a client program. What the server is responding to our request, that is known as your what? That is your server program. Hence, client is a system, server is a system, client is a requesting system, whereas the server is a responding system. Client is a system which is not as powerful in comparison to the server computer. Your desktop, laptop, all might be the computers which acts as a client, and the browser is the example of the client program. While you are requesting for a page, the web page that you access in the web browser, your system is a client where it is coming, that is known as your server. And the web server and the program which is runs in the web server, that is known as your file server, and the server can put the response at a time to many clients around the world. Then another important sub question is inheritance and the advantage of inheritance. You remember, and we know, process of creating a new class from existing class known as inheritance. The many advantages the inheritance having, the most important advantage include reusability, method overriding, improved maintainability, extensibility. Means we can use the program or the class in the many classes whenever you need it. Organize the code structure, which is basic, simple, and polymorphism, means the class having many form. The overloading feature is one of the important mechanism so far as the polymorphism is concerned. Then one of the important short question or in the form of long question is asked, what is database management operation? You can write many things, but four important things you have to emphasize: creating database, renaming the database, selecting the database, and dropping the database. Then rootkit. It is one of the important questions so far as the cyber threat is concerned. It is a software which is once installed to your victim's machines, user's machine, which can open a port and allow a hacker to communicate and full control over the system, even if it is known as your backdoor. And some of the rootkit uses by the hacker, they can even if open your camera, make your photo shot, whatever you are doing without your acknowledgement, then without your consent, they can collect the information about you, and in later on they can blackmail you with some of the threats. And hence rootkit is one of the important threat so far as the cybercrime is concerned. The next important question is spyware. The spyware or snoopware meaning is same, which is a software program that is intentionally installed on a computer to monitor what the other users are doing at the same time. This term is used to describe the secretly gathering the information about the activity. Spyware programs are often used to track the user's habit to better the target much, and it is most often coming with advertisements. And hence while assessing any advertisement, be careful either the advertisement is much more important for you or not, or it is coming from legitimate sites. Spyware is usually installed on a user's machine without their knowledge, and when a link is followed intentionally or unintentionally, which redirect the user to some malicious website, just like while you accessing a link, it will give you some of the pornographic site which may attract to the customer. But in this attraction affairs, they can collect many information of you. So be careful while interacting any type of spyware which is attracting you with some beautiful messages. But never go inside that because it might be put you some of the important threats in later use. The malware. Remember, the malware or the malicious software is program and harmful to the computer user. Malware include maybe computer viruses, worms, trojan horses, spywares, or any type of other cookies. These malware programs can perform variety of functions including stealing, encrypting or deleting the sensitive data, altering and hijacking the core important functions of your system, and monitoring users' computer activity without their permission, and hence malware can be acting as one of the important threat so far as the cyber threat or network crime is concerned. Then one of the important question again arises, that is digital signature. To authenticate an electronic document, the signature is required, and that is known as your digital signature. It can be used with email, spreadsheet, textual file, and in today's era, the digital signature is essential for banks or online transaction, which provide you the authentication, integrity, and non-reputation. And in today's era, any agreement which is made in online that uses digital signature, and digital signature uses the concept of cryptography, which may use the concept of private key and public key mechanism. Simply, we can say signature is to used to authenticate a document. Electronic signature is used to authenticate the signature in the computer, and the digital signature is used to authenticate the electronic document while you are using internet. Next important short question is application of e-commerce. E-commerce is one of the important tool, and its essentiality is many. Some of the important essentiality include advertisement, educational material, relation to bank, useful in auction, online banking, tax return, retail shops, bridging the gap between the manufacturer and customer. Meaning less time anywhere in the world we can reach our product for selling and purchasing. Features of e-commerce is one of the important short question, which features include anytime anywhere service, cost effective online marketing, way of information, effective advertisement, instant service, no need of middleman, world level expansion, multiple models of a business. The limitation of e-commerce includes security, dependent on the internet. Without internet, we can make the e-commerce. Problems of bandwidth, special type of software is required for e-commerce. The important set type of question, hub versus switch. We should know that hub is a network device, switch is network device. Hub used in the physical layer of ISO-SI model, switch used in the data link layer of ISO-SI model. Hub is not intelligent, switch is intelligent. Hub having many ports, switch having also many ports. But in recent technology, switch is replacing hub because whatever the data reaches at the hub, it is shares to all computer. But whatever the data reaches to the switch, it is only gives to the specific computer, which gives rise to the intelligent behavior of switch. Both the devices, hub and switch, using the LAN. Hub having the speed up to 10 Mbps, whereas the switch having the ability for sending the information up to 1 Gbps. Hubs can amplify, but switch cannot amplify. Switch can filter, hub cannot filter. These are the different differences between the hubs and switch. Then the next important difference question is gateway and router. Gateway is used to connect dissimilar networks, whereas the router is used to connect similar and dissimilar network. Gateway makes the protocol conversion, Router makes the best route out of several routes. If gateway can be turned as an intelligent device, router can be turned as a super intelligent device. Router can be acts as a firewall, basically hardware-based firewall, whereas the gateway acts as a gateway to other computer networks. There are the other differences which as described you can follow. Next, there is one of the important long or short type of question arises, the static page and dynamic page. Remember, the content of the page which continually changes automatically without user interaction, that is dynamic page, whereas the content of the web page does not changes, it is fixed. While you are making refresh, it will be automatic, it will be changed, that is static page. And by HTML you can design the static page. For the dynamic page you can use the page, the codes like HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And again, dynamic page have two types of scripting. One is server side scripting, one is client side scripting. Server side scripting is made by the scripting languages like PHP, ASP, JSP and others, whereas the client side scripting is possible to design by the help of the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This code is gives rise to the concept of static page, and if you are writing uh, CSS, JavaScripts, that makes the dynamic page for the client side, and if you are writing the codes in PHP or JSP, that makes the server side programming. And hence, in today's modern era, if there is a large organization is there, the frequently user interaction will be made lively, then we need dynamic pages. If the small websites has to be made and the fixed number of pages are there and the limited number of pages are there, then we have to use the static page. The static page is designed by HTML, whereas the dynamic page is designed by the help of your HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So I think the questions we discuss that will help you in your forthcoming CHSE, ICSE or CBSE examinations. More questions we will be giving with attachment, and a few other questions we will be discussing in the next few classes we will be providing to you. Thank you. See you in the next